Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a convenience store in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. Not only will I show you how to make the outside of the convenience store, but I will also show you how to make the entire inside as well. Fun fact, I am hiding somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know where and when you spotted me. This is the amount of space required to make the build, including a handy grid, which you may choose to copy, that will show you the starting position. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 3 terracotta in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3. Dig 4 rows to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a terracotta on the end, and then dig 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Place a terracotta on the end, and then dig 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Place a terracotta, dig 3 more rows. 1, 2, 3. And then place 3 terracotta. 1, 2, 3. Then extend backwards by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then extend all the way across the back of the build and join all the way back to the front of the build. Next, we are simply going to fill these 4 rows in with quartz bricks, and then all of the other rows of 3 with sea lanterns, like this. Next, we are going to remove all of the grass from inside of the build. We will then fill the entire floor in using quartz bricks. Next, we are going to place an additional layer of 1, 2 terracotta on top of every single terracotta block that we have placed already. We will then place a layer of red terracotta on top of the terracotta, but also extending across the entire front of the build and connecting above the windows. We will then add a layer of green terracotta on top of the red terracotta. Followed by a layer of yellow terracotta. And finally, a layer of smooth quartz slabs on top of the yellow terracotta. Next, we will move over to the entrance area, which is the largest out of all of these 4 spaces, and we will add glass block to the left and right side of the space, with a row of glass pane either on the left or the right. The rest of the empty spaces are windows, which we will just fill in with glass block, and we will add a layer of smooth quartz slab across the top of not only the windows but the entrance area too. And uniquely with the entrance, we will place 2 rows of white concrete directly on top of it, like this. Then we are going to remove 2 entire rows from the front of our convenience store. From the entire grid really, we are just going to expand left and right as far as we can go. We then also want to remove specifically this row here in between the windows and this row here in between the windows. We want to fill the space in between these grass rows in with white concrete powder. We then want to add 3 yellow carpet here, 1, 2, 3, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and 3 here as well on the opposite side, 1, 2, 3. You can see how that corresponds to the windows. We will then remove all of the grass and grit from in front of the yellow carpet, extending all the way to the edge of the grid, and we will replace all of this with grey concrete. Next, we just have to replace this white concrete here with a grass and place a row of ferns next to this car parking spot. We want to do the exact same thing on this opposite side also. We also want to have a similar thing all the way over here. So the way it lines up is we place a row of ferns here corresponding with this middle block of the terracotta, if that makes sense. And we also just want to place a row of leaves on the outside of the ferns, just like this. And now we can pretty much just remove all of the remaining grass and grid from around the outside of the build. So we just have to do this a little bit carefully. We have some on the outer parts of the front here, and there is an entire row on the sides of the build, and there are 2 rows on the back that we just have to remove as well. Then we just have to replace all of that with smooth stone. I'm just going to place 2 rows across the front to start with. And then just fill in these small gaps because I don't want to forget about them, and I do things like that. It wouldn't be unlike me to just leave a massive crater around the build. And then we just have to fill the back and the sides of the build in. Next, we are going to place 3 red concretes in this position. Extend the bottom one to the left. Bookshelves here. Smooth quartz slabs across the top with stone buttons here. And this is meant to look like the simplest vending machine that you have ever seen. You can even add item frames to this if you want to, but I'm leaving it rather ambiguous. And all the way over here, we are going to place a stone brick wall in this position, red concrete here, stone button in front, glass block on top, and then a mangrove pressure plate on top of that. And that can be interpreted as anything really, but I kind of think of it as like a prize egg machine or something similar. Lastly, we are just going to make a sign that says 24/7. So that's the name of the place, 24/7. Certainly not a rip-off of any other convenience store franchise. Begin by placing a loom on the ground, opening it up, and placing a white banner in there with black dye. The first number we have to make is 2, so this is the chief pattern, base pattern, and then the bend sinister pattern. Next is 4. That is the pale dexter pattern, put white dye in there, apply the per fess inverted pattern, black dye back in, fess, and then pale sinister. Next is the slash, which is simply the bend sinister pattern. And lastly, we just have to make 7, which is chief, and then bend sinister again. And then all we have to do is apply it to our white concrete above the door, just like this. I did also consider adding another layer of just smooth quartz slabs above the sign, but I don't know if that is too much or whether this is sufficient. I think I might prefer that, to be honest. With the entire outside of the build complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. Step 1. Directly left of the door, we are going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 item frames in this position. Add another row to the right, and fill them in with different potions. I'm just using one so that I don't clog my inventory. Then, we are going to remove these 2 blocks and place sea lanterns. Then stack glass directly on top of the sea lanterns, place an iron bar here, some smooth quartz block to the right of it, and then we are just going to place some red concrete directly above this. If you want to hide some more sea lanterns just in the top to keep it a little bit brighter, you can. Next, we are going to place 2 upside down smooth quartz stairs extending right of this block. 1, 2. Then place a smooth quartz block on the end. 2 more stair. 1, 2. And then place a smooth quartz block on the end. Extend it forwards and backwards. We also want to add 2 more rows of smooth quartz on top, including this middle bit as well, just like so. And we are also just going to stack some iron or light grey concrete or some sort of contrast material at the back of these. We also want to place sea lanterns underneath the stairs, just like so. And we also want to add shelves into these in the form of iron trapdoors. We can then place item frames on the lower and upper shelves, and I'm just going to stack bread here, so this is meant to be just a bunch of cooled ready-made sandwiches. We are then just going to apply some orange concrete to the top of this area like so, and that looks pretty good. Next, we are just going to move over to the right here, and we will remove these 2 blocks right of the smooth quartz, replace these with sea lanterns, place a smooth quartz block to the right, remove 2 more rows, replace those with sea lanterns, and then on the end here stick another smooth quartz block. We will extend the smooth quartz blocks backwards, and we will also add another 2 rows on top of them. We will add a layer of block of iron at the back here, and we will add some shelves in here too, so we'll actually add 2 rows. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, which we will occupy with item frames. And then I'm just going to stick a bunch of different raw meats in here, but you can place whatever you like, to be quite honest. Then all we have to do for this part in particular is seal up the top of these with some light blue concrete, just like this. I am thinking that if we wanted to add some interior light inside of these, then we could just sneak some sea lanterns up at the top like so. And then I want to place blue glass in front of this because these are meant to represent freezers, and just some iron bars so that we can open the freezer doors. I did also consider this, adding glow item frames above the sandwiches, but they don't really emit much light at all, do they? So maybe that's a waste of time. Moving on to the back of the store, we leave a gap of 2 right of this smooth quartz, 1, 2, and place 3, 1, 2, 3 spruce planks. We then want to place 1, 2, it's kind of tricky to do without blocks to stand on, 3, 4 spruce trapdoors, extending up, flipped up on top of themselves like this, and then we can place spruce trapdoors across the top, and then another 1, 2, 3, and we might be able to use this. Okay, never mind. Maybe that'll work? No, it didn't. We're going to have to stand on something. There we go, perfect. So we just want to have a set of trapdoors up the left and right side connected together across the top. Chiseled bookshelves underneath. 2 more trapdoors here. Item frames here with a biscuit here, pumpkin pie here. You will forever be known as a cookie to me. And then cakes here. And then you can just stick something else here. Maybe even a lantern would look nice as well, but maybe just like another cookie or maybe some pumpkin pie. Leaving a gap of 1 to the right, we will place a light grey concrete, stone stairs here, item frame here, diamond here, and stone button here. So this is just an ATM. Next, we are going to leave a gap of 1 again and place 1, 2, 3 bookshelves, followed by a spruce plank, 3 more bookshelves, and then we will extend the bookshelves upwards, add a layer of sea lanterns across the top of them. You can even extend up the spruce plank as well. We will then place mycelium in front of the bookshelves, spruce planks in front of the spruce planks, and then we place an additional plank here, extend slabs across left and right here. We then want to clad the outside of this with spruce trapdoors. Clad just means cover up basically, including the mycelium as well. We don't want to see the outer parts of it. And here too. And, oh, and of course on top of this block, my bad. So here and then here. Perfect, there we go. And then we can just fill the mycelium in with mushrooms. So I'm just going for those 2 different kinds. Next, we will turn our attention to the opposite side of the store. All the way over here in this corner, we will place a chest. Above it, an item frame with a paper inside. Left, a light grey concrete. Stone stair here. Smooth stone slab here. Painting here. And on the slab, either a detector rail, which I think looks better, or a stone pressure plate. I've grabbed both, but I think that the detector rail looks better. This is meant to be a set of scales used for weighing all of the other produce, so the mushrooms and what we're about to make. So, left of this machine, we will leave a gap of 1 and then place 3, 1, 2, 3 red mushroom block. We will then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then we'll just place a row of 1, 2, 3 grass block. In front of the grass, we will stick more grass. In front of the mushroom, more mushroom. On top of this back row of mushroom, we will place melon, and on top of the back row of grass, we will place pumpkin. We will hoe the grass, add some wheat seeds like this, and then we are going to clad the entire sides of these areas, so the left and right, just like so. And this is kind of optional. I like the idea of signs being on these giving prices, so like, you know, melon, I don't know, what, £1 or 1 diamond or whatever whatever you want to label them, or just maybe labeling the actual, that's not how you spell wheat. Oh no.
I almost did a huge oops. But labeling the produce you can do, or you can price them, or whatever you like. And of course, I think everybody knows this, but if you want to make the pumpkins look a little bit more pumpkinier, that's definitely a word, you can add a sea pickle to the top of them as well. Returning back to the mushrooms, we want to leave a gap of 2 from in front of this spruce plank, 1, 2, and then remove 1, 2, 3 rows of the floor. Replace these with spruce planks, and then we want to place 1, 2 spruce trapdoors on each end that we can flip up, connect together both of the tops of the trapdoors, and then we can apply spruce signs to the backs of the trapdoors, and if we have a look at it from this side, it just looks like a really cool shelf, which we can apply item frames to, and then different produce inside of the item frames, so you can mix and match that up as much as you'd like. We want to leave a gap of 1 from this and place a chest here, followed by 1, 2, 3 smooth quartz, and then an upside down smooth quartz stairs, and then flare it across to the side like this. Replace these 2 end blocks with sea lanterns for some reason, and then place 1, 2 grey carpet here, detector rail here, add a light grey concrete here, stone stair here, and then just a painting here in this position. Next, we will leave a gap of 3 from this shelving unit, 1, 2, 3, and then we will place 1, 2, 3 bookshelves like this, and then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 3 more, 1, 2, 3. We then leave a gap of 3 between these, 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place another row of bookshelves like this, so the positioning is quite satisfying to look at from the top. We then want to apply another row of bookshelves directly on top of these, and I'm not 100% certain I prefer this, but I think I do. I like to add some red carpet just off to the sides, and I was going to do a similar thing here as well. I was going to add some red carpet kind of like here, just next to the till, but I don't know if I like it. Next, we are going to fill the entire roof in using block of iron. Alternatively, you could use smooth stone. I think that looks pretty alright. That might be it of the approved list of roof materials for me. Of course you can fill it in with whatever you like, but I have one of those 2 I think will do. Next, we have to find a way to light the convenience store. So, I've got a few ideas for you, the simplest of which is to remove the blocks corresponding with the bookshelves, first of all. So, we remove the iron from the ceiling like this, and above where the bookshelves are, we place sea lanterns, and then we kind of continue this pattern, so we leave a gap of 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3, and then gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, place some sea lanterns like this, and then we kind of just have like a nice strip of lighting in the ceiling, which is, you know, it's not bad at all. Alternatively, in the same positions, we wouldn't have the sea lanterns in this case, but we would have end rods dangling down some iron trapdoors, so it doesn't emit very much light, but it does kind of look like an old school, kind of like convenience store lighting situation. So that's probably not my favourite, but you know, it certainly is an idea. And lastly, this requires a little bit more space, So we would just, where these sea lanterns are now, above where we have the bookshelves, we would have a lever here, and we would place end rods between them. So one would go here, and one would go here. And this is kind of like that cool, old school tube lighting. So, you know, you've got a few different options. My personal favorite might literally be just to have sea lanterns embedded in the ceiling, or maybe to have this tube lighting. I think that this one is a bit too busy. I do kind of like the aesthetic of the tube lighting, I do have to admit, so maybe we'll go for this. And we can be a bit cheeky and just use a command to replace some of the air with light so that it's a little bit brighter in here. And with that final detail added, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed our tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our convenience store into our city. To the surprise of no one, I want to place the convenience store in the new suburban suburbs. Pardon the pun, but I think that this is a convenient place to have the store.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, consider becoming a channel member. You will gain access to loyalty badges, some fun emojis, and a monthly download for every single build used in our city. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.